This is, of course, a Glock 19, one of the finest handguns made, and certainly one of the finest combat handguns ever designed. There's the frame. Obviously, the gun is unloaded. And you can see it is made of polymer with steel inserts. This is the older model. This is the so-called Generation 2. It does not have the finger grooves here on the grip, and the stippling here is different. And it also has one cross pin for the trigger mechanism. Later models had two. When they went to the .40 caliber, they felt it needed some additional strength, so they went to 2 pins and just standardized it throughout the Glock lineup, and even though the 9mm really doesn't need it. This is the 15-round magazine that comes standard with it. For a while, thanks to Bill Clinton, these were reduced to 10-round magazines. I have a couple of those as well. And they work fine for target work and practice, but I don't use them for defense. This is the obviously the recoil spring guide here. And we'll take that out. Not terribly easy to do with one hand. There we go. And the barrel. Nice and clean. And you can see that there is a feed ramp built into it. The slide mechanism is quite unique. Where it was when it came out, it's widely copied now. But when it first came out, it was extremely different. The extractor here is held with spring pressure that goes back to the backing plate here. And it's held in place, actually, by the firing pin block. Very easy to take apart. We'll get into that at some point. And it's not a bad idea to do it every once in a while, just to clean out the firing pin channel and also the extractor itself. Although I have found that in shooting Glocks for many years now, you don't want to get too crazy about cleaning. I clean my gun every time I shoot it, I'll admit. But at the same time, you can get a little carried away with it. I know people who actually take the entire gun apart every single time, including the frame. I think that's silly. I mean, to be perfectly blunt, it's just silly. You don't need to do that. These guns are made to hold up. Now, on the other hand, I will be the first to admit that sometimes you can let them go too long. But you don't need a lot of lube on these. You don't need a lot of care, a lot of maintenance. I obviously keep it clean. I like to have it as clean as possible without going completely crackers about it. This is the Generation 2, as I mentioned. It doesn't have the finger grooves. The Generation 4s have gone to a different recoil spring system now, supposedly to lighten recoil even more. The problem with lightening recoil is that sometimes you get jams. They may have worked these things out now. I hope they have. But I know there were some problems, some issues when the Generation 4s first came out. I hope they've gotten them straightened away now. But frankly, I would stick with the older generation Glocks for a while. One other thing to mention, this does have Trijicon night sights on it. They do glow in the dark. Very nice sights. I will say that I don't think the daytime view is particularly stunning. You can pick up the dots easily, but I know there are some others on the market that supposedly have more, have a better look during the daytime, but at night they're quite good. And let's face it, sometimes you might need it in the dark at night, and so it makes sense. Talk to you soon.